Hi, everybody. I'd like to bring you a 40-minute or so yoga practice, breathing and stretching that we have been doing in our Parkinson's classes, which involves getting to the floor halfway through. So if you're not comfortable with that or need a little review on how to practice going to the floor, you can look at one of my other videos which shows that, but we will also do it very slowly here today. So keep your screen or your device in a place where you will be able to see it from either seated in your chair or on your floor, and have a mat on the floor if your floor is hard surface and you need a little cushioning. Also, we're going to use a strap, or belt or scarf, something that doesn't stretch, to use around our foot. So it has to be, and with our arms, should be about that long. And also some sort of pillow, usually for maybe under your head if you're lying down and that's uncomfortable, under the head and neck. Or if you need it underneath your chair for our sitting. So, or anywhere else for that matter, or maybe under your knee when you go down to the floor. So for now, let's put the strap down on the floor so that it is there for you, put it down here, when you need it, when we're down on the floor. So yeah, have your feet nice and solid. I know you can't really see them in the video, but make sure they're underneath your knees. Your ankles are under your knees. Your shoulders are generally over your hips, and bring your ears over your shoulders. Close your eyes. Let your palms rest down on your thighs. Just take a few deep breaths with your eyes closed, just bringing yourself into this moment right now. You can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe you breathe both ways through the mouth. It doesn't really matter. Just a full breath or so. And if it's comfortable, closing the mouth and breathing through your nose. And just noticing for a moment the sounds in your room, the smells, the air coming in your nostrils, the temperature. And then bring the focus more inward towards your breath, your body. Maybe noticing any part of your body that might need a little extra attention today. And when you're ready, with the eyes still closed, bring your palms together and your thumbs towards your breastbone or your heart center. So just take a moment to set an intention, either for this practice or maybe a broader intention. And then releasing your hands, opening your eyes, ready to begin a little more physical part of our practice. We're going to start by bringing some warmth, some energy into our palms, our hands, vigorously rubbing. Really get some heat building up there. And then allow your palms to open, feel the energy, expand your breath, body, and then bring it back in. Interlace your hands, stretch them open, palms down. Breathe back in, bringing the energy back up, turning your palms, Stretch towards the ceiling. Let your armpits open, your elbows straighten. Find space in your rib cage. And then let it go. Bringing it back together again. More energy in your hands. Again, bringing that heat and warmth. And let that expand. Feel the energy. Expand out. Expand the breath. Bring the hands back in, this time interlacing the odd way, right? Not your comfortable way. Open the palms, stretch them down, extend out, bring it back in, energy up, turning the palms and lengthen towards the sky. Let your shoulders lift. Yeah, find space and then let it go, releasing. Once your arms are down, we'll lift the shoulders up, back and down. Up, back and down. So breathing in and letting it out. Up, back and down. And again, up, back and down. Try one shoulder lifting, rolling and opening back. And then the opposite shoulder, lift and roll. Again, lift and roll. Lift and roll. You can try breathing in and out. In and out. A couple more times. Lift and roll. And lift and roll. Go ahead, release your hands towards your knees. Use them as a little counterbalance as you draw your belly back, your tailbone forward towards the back of your knees, rounding in your spine like a C. And then slide the hands back, and from your tailbone, lengthen all the way up the spine, drawing the chest forward and up. So releasing, rounding back, drawing everything back, low belly, upper belly. And then sliding the hands back, open up, release the chest forward. And time. So you keep going, maybe you exhale as you're back. And then inhale as you lengthen. Taking your time, maybe you're going slower than I am, or faster. Finishing out, drawing the chest forward, and then come back to your center here. Just taking the chin now, tucking into towards your chest. Keep your spine long. Just stretching in the back of the neck and shoulders. And then lengthen up, lift up through your breastbone, your face as if you're feeling the sun pour down on you. Yeah, come back through to the center, and again, draw your chin in, releasing your head to heart. And then find a little lift and lengthening up. Yeah, and once more, we'll bring our face to center and then tucking the chin in. A little pressure into your feet and length up through the body as we lift up. Bringing that focus once again back to center, and we'll move from side to side. Keeping it a nice, even movement. Yeah, not really stopping, just going to where you can't go anymore and then letting it come back. Don't worry about your breath or your spine, your shoulders, your body. Just allow your focus to go from one side to the other. Maybe that head and neck starts to feel a little freer. Good. And the next time you're on the side you started, we'll let our chin release down, finding a half circle. So if you're drawing a smile on your chest with your chin, and then lengthen out, gazing out, and release again, half circle, lengthen back up. Taking a breath at the top maybe and releasing that breath. Good. Keep moving again gently from one end of that half circle to the other. And the next time you're coming around, see if you can make a fuller circle, finding a little bit of a lift and around again, only going as big as your head, neck, shoulders allows, feels comfortable with. And when your chin is at the bottom, reverse your direction. Again, finding a circle and space, your breath, your neck, your shoulders. Once your chin is at the bottom, again, we'll leave it there just for a moment, stretching the back of the neck and shoulders, and then lengthen back up, releasing one side. You want up, and go ahead and grab hold of the side of your head or your top of your ear. Allow the weight of your elbow to draw your head to the side. Taking that opposite hand, we reach out, let the fingers extend. And again, maybe your hand is in a little bit different position, or your arm, that's okay. Wherever you feel that full stretch. And then release that all a bit, let your hands rest. Bring the hand back on the back of your head, tuck your chin, and allow your elbow again to draw the chin in on this diagonal towards your chest. And then releasing your hands, lengthening back up, bringing your focus back to center. So try your opposite side, so really lengthen up. Grab hold either side of your head, your ear. And again, we're not pulling, but just allowing the weight of the elbow to draw your head to the side. Maybe this opposite arm extends away from the elbow. Nice long diagonal here, finding your stretch. Maybe your chin tucks in slightly. Maybe that makes it feel a little different. And soften all that, releasing, and take your chin towards the diagonal, holding the back of your skull. Again, allow the elbow to draw your chin in, the weight of the elbow. Then release your hand, let it lengthen back up. And once again, just move the head a bit side to side, around, just feeling how that feels. Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and release our whole upper body over to the side, releasing in our shoulder, our fingers. Yeah, let it go. Then take a breath up, lengthening. And let that circle around in your upper body. And once again, let the breath be full and up, and circle around. Releasing out towards the side, gazing out, and let that release down again for your opposite side. So again, we're going to lean over, letting our hand, our shoulder, our arm loose. Take a full breath up. And then curve around in your upper back as you round around. And again, lengthening, curving around, stretching out, gazing out, releasing down. Then we take our opposite side again, releasing forward. It's time opening back. You're going to take let your whole body breathe up and open. And try it one more time, a full breath, lengthening. Release it to the back of your chair. Let this inner hand rest on your inner thigh. We're in a kind of open twist here with our chest, opening our gaze to the side. Let your backhand lift up and over, cross it on top, and hold your outer thighs. Resist with those outer thighs. Let your back, your spine round again. And then come up with that forearm that's on the top, perpendicular to the floor here. And then underneath, we hook the elbow to eagle arm. See if we can find maybe our forearm, our wrists, or our palm with our fingers. Really extend up through the fingertips. Take a breath, expanding across your back and bowing the upper back forward. Lengthening back up, releasing both arms to take that full breath all the way up. And back in, palms together. To find your opposite side, your opposite circle, lengthening, releasing to the back. And again, lengthen up, open back. One more time, a full breath. Release it behind you, leave it on your back chair here, the inside hand on your inner thigh, gazing out, your chest opening, shoulders dropping. Then letting that back arm lift up and over, full reach, and then cross. So letting both arms cross, holding your outer thighs again, rounding. Coming up with that opposite forearm, the top one, the other hooks around. You try and grab hold of that elbow with your other arm. Maybe reach around, grab your forearms, your wrist, your palm. Take a full breath. Drawing those forearms away from the face. And then bowing forward, releasing, exhaling. Lengthening back up, take a breath here. And then release it all. Opening up, lifting high. Palms together in. It's time to take those palms back up towards the ceiling. Dive forward, lengthening the arms out as if you're floating on air, and then let it go, soften, release back up. Once again, a full breath up, palms in, lengthening, release back up, open the palms, dive forward, find that floating, and then release. Rolling back up, release your shoulders back. Yeah, sit tall. While you're sitting tall, we'll bring our knee up in towards our chest, our shoulder, our armpit. So try not to round or curve back into your spine, but really lift up. Yeah, and then let it out, maybe holding underneath. Find some space in your toes, your foot, yeah, your ankle, cracking. Yeah. Then bring it in. Go ahead and grab hold the ankle, flex the foot strongly, draw it across if you can. Yeah, lengthening through your spine, releasing your arms. See if again we can lift up and out. Good. Releasing back towards your shin, your ankle. We'll release it down. Both feet planted, and again with a kind of a long spine, we lift from underneath or maybe in. So bring the chest up, the knee up, and find that stretch there. And then holding underneath, we'll circle the foot, the ankle, the toes, spread them out. See how much space you can find in there. Yeah, and then bring it back in with a strong flex of your foot, cross it over, let the knee go wide. Root down again and lengthen up. Releasing back towards your knee, your shin, release the foot off. Yeah, bring your feet underneath you. And your sit bones sort of towards the edge of the chair. So we can come up as we again lengthen down, or you make your way as easily as you can up. So rooting down, lengthen, and if you can, full length all the way up. I realize I'm out of the video, but that's okay. Your arms are extended. Bring the palms in, and we're going to release back, not to the chair, but to our fierce pose here. So as if we're in a chair. Yeah. And then releasing our palms over to the one side, opening up. Yeah, finding a bit of a twist here. Good. Coming back towards your heart center. Again, extend from the floor all the way up. I'm really extending overhead, even though I know you can't see. Opening the arms, coming back, palms together at the heart center. Yeah, and release again over, keeping that space right between your knees. Opening up. Finding a bit of a twist here. This can all be done seated as well. All right, coming back in, palms to your heart center, and again, push once more up and open. Yeah, once we're up, let's make our way around to the back side of our chair. And again, if you use this chair for support to hold on, keep it in front of you as it is. As we go through our warriors, you can have it to hold. But for the video's purposes, I am going to put the chair to the side here. Yeah. So yes, use the chair as you need to. Opening up a little bit wide, turning your foot out, this foot here, knee over ankle, back foot perpendicular for warrior two. Stretch your arms, gaze out, and as if these arms are floating on water, right? Extend them. Yeah, we'll take our focus from here to the center and then towards our back arm. Take your time. Nice easy breath to bring it back again to the center and back out over the arm. You're releasing your arms down, lengthen through your thigh, turn the feet in, and maybe toe heel a little or hop or step the feet back into your center before returning the other side. So again, we open out, hopefully using your chair if you need it. Knee over ankle in the front, back foot perpendicular. Yeah, opening out. Again, your warrior two may be lower, it may be higher than mine. That's good. It's okay. Stretching out. And again, like those arms are floating on water, extending your focus out. Then bringing the focus back towards the center, back behind you. And again, back towards your center and out, taking your time. Good, releasing your arms down, coming back, straightening the leg, bringing our feet back in, hopping, stepping, rooting down. Yeah, then we'll use our chair now for some revolved triangle and revolved lunge, right? So I have that chair in front of me, and I'm going to step forward towards it. Yeah, and use the other foot, step it back. Yeah, again, I'm not really using my mat for this, but if you need it, I'm angled this way for the video. If you would prefer to be straight on your mat, do it that way. Yeah, hands on your hips as long as we're square to our chair. Lift up through the chest. Good, and then angle forward, letting the tailbone go back, the top of the head forward. You can soften this front knee a bit. Yeah, coming to your chair with a nice long spine. Nice easy breath. Maybe you soften further by releasing your head and neck and upper back. And then extending from your feet, tailbone out, back up to your fingertips, and opening on this right side, finding length, whichever side it is for you. Same side as the leg is opening up. Good. Coming back to your chair. Good. And then lift the back heel, stretch it back. So we're in a long lunge. Our belly's still tall, our backs are tall, knee over ankle in the front here. And we take a stretch again, opening same arm as leg, gazing out. Coming back to your chair. Yeah, bring the feet back underneath you. Yeah, bend your knees here. Let yourself roll back up, engaging in your thighs, your body. Lengthen the arms. Full breath, releasing. And to try our opposite side. Yeah, so stepping the other foot a bit forward and the other one back. We have a width of our hips here. Yeah. Drawing our waist long as we lift our chest and open up. Good. And then letting it come forward, your tailbone back, top of the head, releasing forward. Good. Coming fingertips towards the chair. Good. Keep this length. Again, maybe you soften this front knee a little and then open same side as that leg that's forward, finding this revolved triangle twist. Noticing your breath. Coming back towards your chair with the hands. Good. Again, now really soften the knee, lift the back heel and step back a bit. So we're in a long lunge here. Again, our belly's lifted. We can be high up on our fingertips. Open this back arm, releasing, gazing back. And then coming back towards your chair. You would bring a little weight into that foot so you can bring it underneath. You readjust your feet here. Bend your knees again. Let your body kind of ragdoll this upper body part. You're not too low. Right? Push into the floor. Feel your thighs. Lengthen your whole spine all the way up. Arms as well. And then release and open. Good, and then we'll make our way back down to the floor. Yeah, so again, I'm going to use my chair. I'm going to move it to the side here. If you need that padding under your knee, you're going to use your pillow. And we're going to make sure that our strap is down here so we have it handy for us, right, to the side. Yeah, so we come to the chair. Right, and then we go ahead and release down. So everyone has a better knee to stretch. We kind of go into that same position that we are almost just in that lunge, but lowering the knee down. Yeah, bringing the opposite knee to find it as well. So you have your chair in front of you. You can take a stretch here. This might feel really good just to extend the back. You're holding the chair, your tailbone back. You could do that more than once if you'd like. And then come down to your hands on the floor. Right, so you're in an all fours position here. Widen that hand out a bit, bring your knees over so you can gently let your hips roll down to the floor. Yeah, and once you're down on the floor, again, some of you might like the pillow under your head. Because that makes it more comfortable. Once we're here, we're going to roll, either walk our hands down to go down sideways, which is easier for some. Yeah, or getting halfway here and letting yourself roll onto your back, readjust your hips, make your way to the floor. Yeah. And again, some of you, as I said, might have wanted that pillow underneath your head. Just pause for a moment here, because once we're down on the floor, we want to make sure our hips are in line again with our shoulders and our feet. All right, so take a minute. Maybe we readjust by lifting the hips or wiggling the shoulders or back till we're till we feel even. Yeah. Let our hands rest down on the mat. Yeah, and walk our feet in as close as we can walk them in towards our butt. Yeah, they're still your hip width apart. Allow your tailbone now to aim towards the back of your knees and begin to lift the pelvis off the mat. Yeah, we're easy in our shoulders, head, neck. Just allow that stretch to happen. Notice how it feels in your feet. Hopefully the weight and pressure is even in the fronts, backs, and sides. Good. And then slowly let yourself roll down, letting one vertebrae at a time roll back down. Some of you who have a mat could hold on to the mat, hold on to the sides of the mat as they are here, and kind of push away with the mat as you do that again, rolling the tailbone towards the back of the knees and lifting up. And you're kind of pushing this mat away from you. You can do it that way as well. And again, notice, right, even if you're only this far, right, it still can feel really nice and invigorating and stretching. Yeah. And when you're ready, just again, rolling back down, feeling that back on the mat. Yeah, once you've, you could do that more than twice, obviously. Yeah, and once you're finished that, just bringing your knees in, keeping your spine still long, so you still feel your hips on the mat as you tuck these knees in. You can keep the knees your shoulder width, and then draw one knee in, stretch the opposite leg out. Again, feel your sides long, your breath long. Switch it out, bring the opposite knee in towards your shoulder, stretching the other leg out. Good. Again, bringing the knees back both in and then planting the feet down. Hopefully you have your strap, which you're going to try and get around one foot. That can be a trick in itself, right? But try and get it around that 1 foot. Yeah, and then hold that strap maybe with what the same hand as the leg. The other hand can just rest on the ground, or maybe you use both. And we're going to begin to find a small circle, not worrying too much about alignment, just finding space in your hip, your breathing, your stretch here. Trying not to lock in your knee, right? But finding space. Again, your knee may be bent, really bent, and that's okay too, right? It could be going much bigger for some, right? You could sort of switch hands in and out. Our belly is still engaged, our back but not gripping, right? Yeah, and when you're ready with that, you can either take the strap off your foot and put the other foot in, or you could even put one foot in, take the other foot out. Yeah, so either way, finding the strap around the other foot, just below the ball of the foot, and extending as much as feels good to you towards the ceiling. Once you're there, feel the opposite foot on the floor, and then begin to find space. Right, it's finding a small circle moving around, staying easy in your head and neck, your breathing, maybe letting that circle get a little bit bigger. And then bringing it back in. So bending your knees to take the strap off, right? So undoing your strap, letting your feet come back down to the mat. Just pausing here for a moment again, allowing your feet to be your hip width or maybe wider, and the arms to stretch out, the palms facing up. So just here, expanding across your chest, feeling that space from fingertip to fingertip. And then when you're ready, begin to let the knees fall from side to side. So gently, yeah, and maybe letting your breath guide the speed of this motion, right? Releasing the breath as they're over. Inhaling as you bring them back and releasing as they go over. And you may want to stay on one side for a couple of breaths. And then gently release, bring to the opposite side again for maybe a couple of breaths. This you could do in your bed in the morning, this whole bit, maybe even just without the strap, just this part. Great for you to do to wake up the spine a little bit. Or if it's too much to rock the knees side to side, to put pillows on either side so they don't go as far. So now we can make our way back up by, again, lifting those hips as we did earlier, shift them to the side so that you can roll onto your side. Maybe you need momentum of this back arm to kind of roll you to your side. Taking your time here because we're on our spine for a bit. Yeah, so just take a moment to let the blood flow back downwards. Yeah, don't be in a rush and go slower than me if need be. Yeah, so bring the knees back in and under you, your hands a little closer to you so you can push the hips, push yourself up and the hips off, walking your knees back in. And here we are in our all fours position again. Yeah, you can walk closer towards your chair if you happen to be further away from it than you were before. You can bring one hand to the other. You can take that nice long stretch again, right? Extending out through your rib cage, your armpits. Yeah. Good. And once you've done that, coming back up again, you judge how far from that chair you were. Maybe you got to walk those knees a little bit closer. Maybe you're using your pillow under your knees. Yeah, bring your foot forward so we come to our knee and our foot. Yeah, if this foot tucks, and you can tuck those toes, you can push up in this way. If not, use your thigh, your hand to lengthen back up, coming back, and now we're at our halfway point here. Yeah, we can bring our feet in as we did before, bend the knees, find our thighs, and walk our way up. Maybe we need to just sit, some of us, right? If we were from here, just sit right back down. Yeah, or yeah, you take your time, however it is, to come back up. And once you're up, bring that chair. I'm going to bring my chair back around. So I'm facing you. Come and sit in the chair. Yeah, have your feet planted. Feel your sit bones on the chair. Just take a moment here to notice, right? We just did a lot of work up and down. Yeah, so let your body adjust for a moment to being seated now. Yeah, and when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and take a breath, bringing our palms back up again, interlacing them. This time we're going to take the palms, bring them to the back of our head. Yeah, so hopefully you get behind the top of your head towards the back. Yeah, and this can be intense for some. Yeah, let your elbows widen, push your head back into your hands as if you're at the beach and just expanding out and up. Breathe into this stretch because it can feel very intense sometimes. And when you need to, obviously releasing your elbow, that pressure on your head, your elbows, let your hands float down for a moment, back on the thighs. Again, just notice. Or maybe we do that one more time. So again, interlacing our hands, bring them back up behind your head. Widen your elbows out. Let your head rest in the hands. Lift up and open up. And bring everything back to center. Let your shoulders soften. Release your hands. Let them rest back down on your thighs for a moment. Yeah, and just to finish out, we'll finish as we sort of started, giving the hands a little bit of a rub, not so vigorous as we did in the beginning, just to warm them. And this time we'll go across the fronts of the palms, drawing the fingertips back, softening your elbow there. And releasing that, letting the fingertips come towards the inner elbow. Let it go, release. And then the opposite side, across your fingers, all your fingers, draw them back, open up. Bring it back towards you, fingertips towards the inner elbow. And then let it go, release your hands. Let them rest back down on your thighs. Let your eyes rest, closing the eyes. Take those few deep breaths again. When we started. Again, noticing the sounds, the smells in your room. The breath as it comes in your body. And when you're ready, bring your palms up, this time one on top of the other across your heart center. With your eyes still closed, just take a moment to feel gratitude. And then bringing the palms together, we'll bring them up to our third eye, bowing forward, namaste, which means in Sanskrit, the divine in me bows to the divine in all of you. So I am glad to have shared this practice with you today. I hope you enjoyed it and found a little centering and stretching. So have a great week, folks, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.